Lieto here in Kailua, Kona for the Women's Ironman World Championship and some special editions of the Ironman Insider podcast presented by Morton. We're going to sit down for this episode with Lucy Charles-Barclay, Lotte Wilms, and Marjolaine Pierre and get a little insight as to how those three athletes coming with different goals each are going to attack the race course on Saturday. Our first guest today is none other than Lucy Charles-Barclay, winner here last time we were on the island. How's it feel to be back?
Yeah, it feels really special to be back. I think every year I've come here, it always feels special. It's such an amazing place to come and race. Obviously, brutal conditions for racing, but you land on the island for like the biggest race of the year, but it still feels so weirdly chilled because it's Hawaii, it's this amazing island. So yeah, it's a mix of feelings, but just really excited to be back.
Yeah, and how different is it coming back with the title that you earned 2 years ago versus always wanting to step up from that second place the years prior? It has to be a little bit different of a vibe for you.
Yeah, I think obviously winning in 2023 lifted such a massive weight off of my shoulders. I've been trying to win the race since 2017 when I first came to the island, and racking up those 4 second place finishes was amazing, but also really tough as well. So to get that win was incredible, and to come back being the last person to win here does have a special feeling. It also feels like less pressure because before I was so desperate to get the win, whereas this time I'm like, I have done it, so I feel like I can possibly enjoy the race a bit more and still want to obviously deliver my best performance that I can, but I don't feel so stressed about the outcome at the end of the day.
Yeah, that's awesome. And to me, it's interesting. I was looking at your results, and you have a lot of time in between Ironman races and Ironman wins. I want to say, looking back, it's like maybe since 2020, you've only done like 4 Ironman races. What is it about how you set up your season? Is it around making sure you're healthy, not injured, and consistent? But it seems like every time you start an Ironman, you win it, essentially, over the last 4 years.
Yeah, I think obviously the last few years I've had a lot of injury struggles, some health issues, and it's kind of been about just trying to stay as healthy as possible and then peak for the biggest race of the year, which is always Kona. So I always gear every season around this race, trying to peak for the big one, and whether that means obviously doing an Ironman to validate, to qualify, or trying to kind of limit my body stresses. Whereas this year I've raced a bit more, I've been a lot healthier, so I feel like we've been always gearing up to this race, building to this one, but every race has been pretty good and like a great stepping stone leading into Kona.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like, you know, from the outside looking in, it's maybe one of your best lead-ins to World Championship as far as consistency and performance. That has to give you a little different confidence coming in.
Yeah, definitely. I think looking back at my training over the last couple of years, there's been weeks and weeks with 0 kilometers of running, whereas this year I haven't had 1 week like that. I've had a consistent year all year. I've been healthy all year, and hopefully that's going to lead to something good. I feel like it almost deserves to lead to something good because it's been like a hiccup-free year, no issues. But we have to see. Race day is always race day. Anything can happen. But I definitely feel very confident. I'm very healthy. And with that, I feel quite relaxed, really happy, and just excited to see what I can actually do.
Yeah, and what do you think's been the biggest factor as far as that consistency with health? I know you were diagnosed with celiac. Has that been a big part of it, or just learning from past mistakes?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing was getting the celiac diagnosis at the beginning of last year, and I think I was quite naive at the time. I thought, I've got the diagnosis, I'm healthy now, I'll be fine. And actually in reality it took almost a year to heal my body and get healthy and learn exactly what I needed to do. And people say, it's so easy, just be gluten-free, but actually it is quite difficult. Like eating out is difficult, having food prepared for you is quite stressful. So all of these things have been quite a steep learning curve, and I think it's taken time, but my body has got healthy again. I've been able to be consistent, kind of just layer training on training, and then do back-to-back racing that I haven't been able to do before. Like this year, I did a race 6 days after another one, which years before would have been impossible. So I feel like we're really reaping the rewards of having a healthy body and finally getting on top of it.
Yeah, that's awesome. And, talking about injuries, I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about Kona 2 years ago when you won. Like, we've talked about this a lot. Like, I am still in shock and awe from that performance. Watching you, hearing from Reese that you had a calf injury and you were struggling in the run, and then getting behind you on a motorcycle, and there was no way for me to tell that you were hurting. But then after the race, you couldn't stink and walk for like a week, right? Like,
yeah.
talk us through how you were able to push through that pain. Because if anybody's ever had a soleus or calf injury, like running a step without limping is incredibly hard, and you were able to finish off a victory at a world championship.
Yeah, I'd say 2023 was one of the most brutal days of my entire life. The race started perfectly. I had a brilliant swim. I felt solid on the bike. And then almost the moment I hit the marathon run course, I felt a pain in my calf. And it quickly was very bad. I think I saw my husband race at mile 2 on the marathon, and I was like, it's bad, it's really bad. And he's like, what? I can't do anything. Like, she's just in the race suffering. And I think he said the same thing. He was looking at me and was like, but you're not running any differently. So just keep doing what you're doing, one foot in front of the other. And every single stride was agony. And I was like, I just have to keep going. I cannot be second again. I cannot do this year. Like, this is the best lead into the marathon I've ever had. I must just keep going. And I think it was one of the most brutal things I've ever done, just to overcome that and just keep pushing forward. And I remember saying to myself, well, nothing's going to be more painful than not winning this time. Like, you can't do that again. So it was horrendous. And after the race, when I went and had scans done, they're just scratching their head at how were you even running with this. I basically had torn a 14 centimetre tear in my left calf. It basically unzipped the whole way throughout the marathon. And in that moment, I was like, if this ends your career, but you've won this race, the one you've always dreamed of winning, then so be it. I now feel incredibly grateful that it didn't, and I'm here again, and I feel like I'm healthier and better and hopefully can deliver a better performance. I mean, I'm pretty proud of the run time I did in that condition, but I'm also quite confident that I could run quite a bit faster than that if I'm not in that level of pain.
Yeah, that's crazy. And I mean, for those that didn't see, like, your leg was like black 2 days later.
Yeah.
Like, often people will like overstate the injuries that they were experiencing in a race, and like there's no doubt that what you went through was ridiculous. Did that reset your like kind of barometer of pain, like now going on in racing when you are in tough spots? You now look back at like, if I got through that, then
yeah, definitely. I've been in some racing situations this year where it's been tough. I've been having a battle out there, and it's like, well, nothing compares to how bad that was. Like, I can definitely put up with this. I can push a little bit harder because it's not as much pain as that was. So it's given me, like, I guess this new mental resilience, but also new physical resilience to pain that I didn't know was possible. So in a way, it's been like this amazing thing that happened. I wouldn't want to relive it again, but yeah, it's definitely helped me in racing this year.
It's funny because usually like that story, those two stories don't usually come together. Like winning the race you were trying to win your whole career and going through a tribulation that teaches you something new about yourself. Usually those don't align
together.
together.
I think like all of the second place races I had here, I couldn't have done any more. And in reality, I'd had like a perfect day on paper. I'd just done everything right. And another person won who was just better on the day. Whereas when I eventually actually won, I had a awful experience. I was in absolute agony, but managed to get the win. So the feelings don't really line up. I think that's why I want to come back and deliver a performance again that I'm proud of. Hopefully things go well, and then whatever the outcome is the outcome. But yeah, it'd be nice to not have too many dramas out there.
Awesome. Well, I mean, this year, like a lot of years, the field is different. A lot of the same names that were around when you raced 2 years ago, but obviously careers continue to move forward and the sport is just moving, right? So seeing the run times that Laura's had this year, the consistency that Kat's had this year, Solveig Lofstad, so many different challengers for you out there. Does that help you raise your game? Does that help you focus in the year going into this race to be like, man, I got to bring it?
Yeah, it's really exciting. I mean, I've been following the Pro Series this year and seeing the performances that these women are delivering, and it's just incredible to see. And the strength and depth of the people in this race is just amazing as well. We've got women running incredible run times, super strong cyclists, and now there's more depth in the field. So people are filling the gaps that maybe there wasn't athletes there before. So in the swim, for example, there might not be a huge gap with no one in it behind me. There might be more athletes spread out filling these gaps. So that depth leads to better performances.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And looking into that, does that adjust your game plan on race day? It's hard to think your game plan would be adjusted because you kind of just go off the front, but
Yeah, I think all year I've been focusing on just trying to be stronger across all 3 disciplines, and that's what's going to be required to win here, and just looking more at myself, but obviously having one eye on the other girls, what they're doing, knowing, okay, realistically they can run this kind of time, so I think I can run this kind of time, I need this kind of gap off the bike. So working things out, but then race day's race day, and you have this perfect plan on paper and you always end up tearing it up midway through the race because things have changed. So I think it's nice to have a plan, but it's also nice to race very dynamically and just go with the race and see what happens, and that's more fun that way anyway.
Right. And do you have any expectation that there's more opportunity for you to be around other women in this race? You just said that you can never have a plan and stick to it, but with the caliber, do you see anybody on your shoulder in the swim or, early on the bike?
Yeah, I think last time we were here, obviously Taylor wasn't too far behind on the bike, and she's so strong on the bike, so I wouldn't be surprised if she was riding up to me. Obviously Solvik is super strong on the bike, and we did the Haloa swim yesterday. She wasn't too far behind either. So I could be in company with some really strong riders on the bike, which I think would be amazing. It's pretty lonely out there when it's just me out front. So if I have those girls there for company, I think we could work really well together. And I know they're both really strong runners as well. We've got the strong runners like Kat and Laura behind us, so we don't want them catching up too much. So yeah, it's going to be really exciting. I think on that run the gaps may be smaller than usual. We're going to see bigger battles. Hopefully we see something like in Nice where the men came off 5 of them running together. I mean, as an athlete that's quite stressful, but we know the people watching are going to absolutely love that.
Yeah, and it seems like, for everything you're saying with consistency and training and the length of time you've had since your last injury, that you would be more comfortable coming off the bike with others. I mean, I'd imagine you're ready to run your best marathon here ever.
Yeah, I think this year I've kind of dabbled in some shorter distance racing. So I've been used to racing where the gaps are like 1 second. And you never have that on an Ironman. You're never really 1 second running with someone. But I've got really comfortable riding with other athletes, running with other athletes. So if that happens here, I know I'm comfortable in that situation. I back myself. I'm always someone who loves a battle. I want to make it hard for the other athletes. I think that's why I love my style of racing, going hard from the gun. I feel like I'm the one in control, putting everyone under pressure and trying to make it a hard day for everyone. I'm like, if I'm suffering, so is everyone else, and that brings me quite a lot of joy. So yeah, I'm really excited for that.
I love the joy in making other people suffer. That's great. And talking to other women in the week leading up to the race, especially the other good swimmers, they're all like, I don't know, it kind of depends what Lucy wants to do. Like, and talking about the swim yesterday, like it seems like you can get the gap with your get out speed if you want, or you can wait and get it when you want to. How do you continue to be at that high of a level of swimming and improve? Some people think, oh, she's just a good swimmer, but clearly like you're doing huge workouts.
Yeah, I think obviously my background in swimming, I know what it takes to try and swim at the level almost required to go to the Olympic Games. So we will always train to that kind of level in swimming, and I really enjoy that. I want to work hard in the water. I feel like it's the one place where I can really push myself, really put myself in the hurt locker and see how hard I can go. And because I enjoy that so much, I'm able to get back in there, do it day after day and try and keep that level high. And also seeing all the other girls are trying to lift their swim game as well, it motivates me, because I'm like, no, I want to stay out in front. I want to be the person that's playing the game and doing what I do in the swim, and yeah, getting that lead off at the start, taking the pressure off, and yeah, having a bit more fun with the day.
That's great. And in your training, we talk about the physical side of training kind of all the time, but for me specifically, there's got to be some effort at least going into the mental side of things, because you are prepared as soon as the gun goes off to just do it all on your own, right? Does that take do you think a special kind of mental approach leading into a race like this?
Yeah, I do a lot of training solo, which I think definitely helps the mental training. I also do a lot of riding indoors, which is mentally quite challenging, especially when it's long intervals indoors, keeping your head down, staying focused, and all of that then I can apply on race day when it's very similar. And I find that mentally that's challenging, but on a race day it's just everything's easier because it's the race. You feel lifted, you've got crowds, you've got that adrenaline. So mentally it's never too difficult in racing. Training is always way harder than anything mentally I experience in a race. And also I think last year I experienced so many times where I didn't make the start line, or I was on a start line with a slight injury, and I was always worried about, oh, how's the injury going to be? Whereas now, if I'm on a start line healthy, I'm like, well, I've already won, and all I have to worry about is swim, bike and run, not is this part of my body going to break down on race day. And that's given me a whole new level of, I guess, appreciation for being healthy, but also confidence in racing to just go out there, have fun and say, you know what, I'm here, I'm healthy, and that's already a win, and the outcome is whatever the outcome is.
That's great. And was a lot of that like kind of change in perspective after Nice last year? Because it did seem like you were pretty broken to not be able to start that race.
Yeah, I'd say Nice last year was probably one of the worst days of my life. Like being there, knowing I'd come into the race, landed in Nice in this incredible shape, and then 2 days before the race I get injured and can't line up. And for me, knowing what could have been was really, really tough. I think that also on the flip side of that, I learned so much from watching my competitors race. I think whenever you're on the race course, here for example, you don't cross each other very much on the race, but whenever you cross another athlete, you make sure you look your best. It's like poker face, game on, I'm great. And I saw the women out there looking tough, like tired, broken, and I never see that. And I was like, okay, this is a new perspective for me. When I'm out there on the marathon and I'm dying, I can actually picture what they might look like because I've seen it. So for me, that gives me a new perspective, and I hope I can bring that into this race and again give me a bit of confidence when I'm really struggling on that run.
No, that's an awesome perspective, and to have the awareness to kind of soak all that in, I think is pretty special too. And you're right, they were suffering out there.
I mean, we're all suffering.
Yeah.
That last 10K, there's no one there smiling, looking great. We're all really just gritting it and getting to the finish line. But yeah, it was pretty incredible to see. I've never seen that, so it was a different perspective.
And you were able to see one of your training partners there last year with a fourth place, Marjolaine. You still getting good training time in with her and seeing her like improve in her career?
Yeah, I've been training with Marjolaine. We did a good 5-week camp together in Lanzarote, and she's just a joy to train with. She brings this great energy. She soaks up any training she's given. She'll do it even more than the set, she'll do it. So this great energy just to, I guess she's like that young, youthful energy coming into the sport and showing what she's capable of. And she's incredibly strong. And I think if she can do what she does in training on the race course, then she's going to have an amazing day here. So I'm excited for her as well.
Awesome. You've been to Kona many times. You've had a lot of amazing races, obviously. Outside of the race course, like what's your favorite, what do you look forward to when you come to the island that's not like training and racing? Like we know it feels like a second home to a certain extent. Why is that?
Yeah, this is my 8th trip to the Big Island actually. So I raced obviously as an age grouper here, then I supported my husband Reese when he was racing as an age grouper. So I've been coming here so many times, and every time I come here, I just feel so relaxed, so chilled. I think that's what I love. Like you've got the beach, you've got the ocean, swimming in the sea with the fishes, you see the dolphins. Like I just love it. Like I love animals, so the wildlife just brings me something that keeps me coming back, I guess. So yeah, I try and soak up everything that isn't swim, bike, run if I can. There's not much time to do it, but yeah, just feeling relaxed, soaking it all in and having a great time.
Awesome. You know, I wasn't sure if I was going to ask this question because it sounds ridiculous, but the memory in triathlon is quite short, right? And even though you've won an Ironman, you won 2 Ironmans in the last 2 years, there's to a certain extent, I think before people got to the island, they like weren't thinking of you as someone around because we haven't seen your name, right? Does kind of somehow flying under the radar, which seems insane that you could, give you a different motivation when maybe more attention's on Kat and Laura right now?
Yeah, I think when I was younger in the sport, it really was all about proving people wrong. So if they said I couldn't win or anything like that, it would really motivate me to train. And this year, kind of coming into the race and feeling a little bit like I've been flying under the radar, I just think is where people don't know what Lucy they're going to get on race day. Sometimes I turn up and I've had a big injury and I'm coming back from it. Sometimes I've had a great block of training and I peaked and I deliver my best performance. So I think maybe sometimes that inconsistency in me makes people forget about those great performances that I've had. So I think going into this, they're quietly aware of the other racing I've done this year. Obviously, I've only done 1 Ironman this year. I won it. It was in Lanzarote. It's very tough conditions like here, but it wasn't the field that we have here. So yeah, I'm not sure too much what people are thinking about me, and I don't really worry too much about what they're thinking about. I'm just kind of, again, looking inward about the training that I've done and what I feel I have the potential to deliver on race day, and that excites me quite a lot.
As it should. And I think the fact that you can look back and know that you've either won or gotten second every time you've raced here as a pro is giving you a little bit of confidence.
It's a pretty good track record, definitely. I think I'm used to that post-race, what happens when you get on the podium. So I hope I get to do that again and not experience that.
Well, that's awesome. I'd love to see that as well, and appreciate you sitting down and chatting with us.
Thanks.
Next on our podcast, Lotte Wilms, pretty excited. She's an athlete that always puts herself in the front of the race and affects the race. So how does it feel being in Kona to try to affect the race on Saturday?
I didn't know I was affecting the race, but it's nice to hear, I guess. Yeah, I'm looking forward to Saturday. It's great to be back. We just landed today, so yeah, just let it happen all this week. Like, yeah, nothing we can do anymore, really. It's just showing up Saturday and focus on yourself and see what happens.
And you flew in today, so on the later side, where'd you fly in from?
Oh, from Maui. So It was the first time we went to Maui, and we really liked it, actually. We had a really good stay.
Is that great?
Yeah, because we live in Noosa in Queensland, so it's already like warm, but we're coming out of winter. So it felt like it was just really good flow over from kind of warm to warmer, and I believe here in Kona it's maybe a few degrees more warmer, but yeah. That's great.
Whereabouts in Maui did you stay?
Kihei, if I say it correct. Yeah.
Kihei.
Yeah.
Isn't the riding there just wonderful?
It's really good. Like, there's some looks you can do. Like, you can go up to the volcano, what we didn't do. But Laura, she was there as well, and she recommended, so hopefully next year.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can do like a 4 or 5 hour loop, or you can just smaller loops. You can just do intervals. So yeah, as long as you don't go too late in the morning, because the wind is pretty hard there.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then there are 2 pools. You can go to the airport, it's the 50-meter pool, or yeah, in Kihei, it's the 25 yards. So it was great too. They even have a run track, but I didn't check it.
Yeah.
But the running was good. The whole atmosphere, the people were nice. So yeah, we really enjoyed it.
Yeah, that's great. And what's the reason? And a few athletes have been doing it over the last few years. And like I said, I love the riding in Maui, and it's great to get something different. But what was your reason for going there to get acclimated instead of coming to Kona?
Oh, I think for me, I always like to be just on my own kind of a thing. So I know it's get really hectic here, and also next year with the males coming and women coming back together. So I expect that it's even going to be more hectic. So we really wanted to try, same climate, and close to Kona, but just more on ourselves. I just like to stay away from distractions, and I get really quickly distracted by other factors. So yeah, it's nice. We felt like besides Laura, there was just nobody. So I felt like I was a nobody there. Just do my training, just do whatever I do when I'm at home, basically.
Yeah, and kind of have like a new, fresh experience to a certain extent.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like I'd never been there before, so we didn't really know what to expect, but we really liked it. So yeah, we might go back there next year. Yeah,
awesome. So your year didn't start off ideally. You had the shingles.
Yes.
Sounds like, right? How difficult was it to bounce back from that?
Well, the difficulty was that, first of all, I never heard from shingles. I didn't even knew it existed till I had it, and then it was limited information, especially for athletes or younger people, how to deal with it and what to do. So there was a Dutch bike rider who overcome shingles as well, like I think just 6 months before me. So I contacted him and asked him his experience and what they did, and obviously he got a whole professional team around him. So what they did was really focusing on the HRV, and I was tracking my HRV as well a lot, and I could see it was so out of range. So he said they just did really light training till the HRV was starting recovering and giving the right numbers again. So that's basically what we did as well. and that process took maybe 8 to 12 weeks before that became, it's shingles is hard to explain what it is, but it feels like you get electric shocks all the time. So when I had it, it was from my shoulder. It went from my shoulder all the way down to my hand. So it's like it comes up in one nerve, and that was just the nerve. So that nerve is a little bit damaged. So once in a while, I can still feel it.
Oh.
So it's like I was walking on the street and a car would come unexpected towards you, and you do like that, like you just have that shake, and then the pain would go like through your whole body for 10 seconds and something, and that took so much energy. It was only for 10 seconds. It would happen like multiple times a day.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. After a couple of weeks, that settled. So yeah, it was definitely a new experience, not something that I expected.
Yeah.
So I think we managed it at the end quite well. It just like a lot of other things came with it. Like I got a lung infection, and it felt like we did Ironman Cairns, what went really well, and then I had a lung infection. And then leading up to Ironman Lake Placid, it was just really hard to race really well there as well, with having that on top of it. And between Ironman Lake Placid and now, we worked out that my iron was way too low. So they say it's connected with what happened. So yeah, we're still learning really what side effects it's giving me. But anyway,
Yeah.
Besides that, I'm healthy and happy, and
It
just what it is.
Sounds like it kind of affects the whole nervous system to a certain
It
extent,
does.
right?
It does. So it comes from chicken pox.
Yep.
So if you had that on an early age, so they say, you get it from stress so it will come up from stress. So if that's stress like related to mental stress or physical stress, that's not really proven. But last year for me, it was a big year.
Yeah.
Coming third in the Ironman series. I ask a lot from my body. So yeah, and then maybe there's just other small things that happen, and it just exposed. Like, it just happened after my off season. So maybe my body was just like, oh, this is nice. No training, no any.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Well, I mean, I will say, looking at your results, you did an amazing job in spite of all that, right? Like, clearly Placid, the result wasn't what you wanted. Maybe there's not as many results as you'd like, but it's honestly really, I didn't know it was that much of a struggle, and it's quite impressive that you were able to pull that much of a season together. And Cairns was a fantastic race.
Oh yeah, Cairns was really good, and it was for me like really a signal that you can get something, you can overcome it, you can work with it. You just need to have the patience and believe that you will get over it, and just try again. And obviously I'm not, in my 20s anymore, so you have like this still like a small time frame, so you still want to get everything out of it, because one day all this, like sitting here with all these people around you, want to listen to your story, obviously that's going to disappear. So yeah, we just have to, besides the things that happen to you as an athlete or as a person, you just have to enjoy the moment where you're at.
Yeah, that's great. And you pushed back a little bit on the affecting the race type as a racer, and I think like Cairns showed, right? Like you went straight out for that race and went to the front, and it's quite a battle. Like the thing, you ended up only just a minute or so behind Hannah Berry in the end for second place. Like,
wow, Cairns, that's a lot of. It was a really nice race. Like we really enjoyed it as a team, and me as myself. Like podium was just great. Then I got all this attention with the media about losing my watch in T2.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was definitely a great day. But yeah, I think that would have cost me maybe one spot, but it didn't really matter at the end for me. It was like, I'm here to show myself that I can still perform.
Yeah.
So yeah, obviously there are a lot of opinions about it, and at that moment, for me, that was the right decision, and I wanted to stick to it.
Yeah.
And I remember as well standing there, and I was like, I can't give up this decision now because I'm already wasting maybe 50 or 60 seconds. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's funny. I wasn't going to ask you about that, but I was on the commentary.
Oh,
team
yeah,
for that,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
And we did, of course, at first. We're like, wait, what's going on? And me and the co-commentator maybe had a disagreement about it to a certain extent. But yeah, I think you're right. Like you made that call, and out of those three women, like it's very clear that you had a specific pace plan.
Yeah.
And you were very focused on it.
Yeah.
So at the end of 3 hours,
Yeah.
what you could have done wrong by not having that, like that's not up for us to judge or for anybody else to judge.
Oh, everyone's got opinions, right? And it makes I think it makes just another story. So everyone has, like, obviously you or who was on the podcast, who was on the live stream, it was Crowy, yeah. He has his own experience of racing. So everybody's got their experience of like, how would I handle in this situation? So it makes sense. So I didn't feel really defensive or upset or anything. I was like, yeah, it makes sense. Like, you all put yourself in that situation, and what would you do? And later on, it's when you get to the finish and you look on the paper, you might have said like, oh, maybe should have done it this, but you don't really at that moment the outcome. And the funny thing was that my coach said before, he said, one thing you need to learn is that if you make a decision, to stick to this decision. So that was like, that was so in my head. And and I think for me, swimming is, I'm a swimmer for 30 years. So for me in swimming, it doesn't really matter what there happened. I can make turns, I can turn it around. But in running, for me, it's still hard to know what really my pace is. And he told me before, he said, look, you have been running too fast, even if it doesn't feel that fast, so try not to. So I was like, it was just in my head. So yeah, for me, it was the most common sense decision at that point.
No, I think it's great. And again, it's each race is preparation for the next race.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Right. So you were able to learn something instead of being done with that race, being like, I don't know, like you can look at the timing mats or whatever. But and coming into this race, you've got experience at World Championship. Obviously, you were 8th in Nice last year. What are the goals, and are you feeling like you're kind of through some of those struggles, and you're going to be able to try to match that finish?
It's really hard to say. I think saying something about outcome is always really hard. But my goal is definitely to focus on myself and focus on what I want to achieve. Like, first of all, I want to finish this race. Like, if I look back on what all happened this year, then that would be great. But obviously, you're not training for a finish line. You're trying to be the best. Like, we all want to win. And I would love to win, of course. But yeah, the goal for me is to focus on the things that we have in our plan, and then after the race we will see where it gets me to.
Awesome. You're one of the strongest swimmers in the sport, as you said, swimming for 30 years. This feels like a year where there's more strong swimmers than I can
absolutely
remember. Is it crazy?
It's absolutely, like, you can see, especially this year, like, Lucy, she's in a great form, but you can still see, like, because she's racing that much this year, that in the T100s or in the other race she has done, someone is coming out with her out of the water. And I remember when was it, St. George 70.3, was maybe 3 years ago. I think I was the first person, or one of the first persons that came on a big stage together with her out of the water. And that was like something like, oh, wow, there's someone else there.
Yeah.
But now it seems like there's 2, 3, 4. So yeah, that group is getting bigger, and it's interesting. It's just different dynamics at the start. For sure, you need more speed. I've been trained since I started triathlon, and that's now 8 years ago. I have done all my swimming by myself. Only this year, because of the shingles, really, I needed to get a motivation to be with other people again, and to get motivated to get back in training. So I joined an open water squad in Noosa, the famous JR one. What I always like, kind of, oh no, they're too strong for me. So yeah, I'm really excited. Like, the numbers are great in training. I'm still doing the numbers as when I was 20. I'm 41 now. So yeah, so hopefully it will pay off. Hopefully, I mean, the win of it is that I just enjoying it. I enjoy first, I always said after my swim career, I never get out of my bed anymore at 5 o'clock in the morning or before. Like, this is done. I've done it for 20 years. And now I'm 3 days a week. I'm happy to be there at 5 o'clock in the morning at the pool deck and chat with the new generation. Like, actually really enjoy it, because there's so many young girls there in the team as well. I can give them some advices, and they can still push me. So yeah, it's actually really, really enjoyable, and I have a really good bond or created with JR as well this year. And he's 87 and he's still so switched on. And it's interesting because my grandma is 87 as well, and she got Alzheimer, and this year got really bad with her, like worse with her. So you can just see the difference, and it's amazing that he still is so committed to his athletes.
It's still a legend.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like, you just do what I say. That are his words, and that's exactly kind of what you do when you jump in his lane. Yeah,
that's great. With Lucy, some other women that I've interviewed that are in that chair that are great swimmers as well are like, no, let her do her thing, and maybe some are hoping that they can possibly hang. And how hard is that? And is that a goal? And maybe is it harder? Like, for the last lot of years, we've had like Lauren Brandon to be another horsepower to try to stay with and hang on. Like, how hard is it, and how good of a swimmer is Lucy?
To be with Lucy, you have to have a lot of speed in the start. I would say between the 400 and 800 meters, you have to be on point. And then you will see it will drop off. But if that's, you can't completely focus on it, because obviously you have to work with your own speed and your own situation. And it's like, it's not a beach start, so it's like just a deep water start.
Yeah.
A couple of 2 years ago, I was struggling with the surfboard that was in front of me, for example. So you have to get really comfortable with uncomfortable situations. And I think in St. George I did that really good, was that I didn't have the best position, but I was just like, first boy, I'm just gonna do my own pace. And you can see in that race that she was like maybe 100 meters up front of me, but I swam slowly up to her. And so, yeah, there's definitely possibilities. It excites me to see if it's gonna happen or not.
Yeah.
And you definitely need to have that speed, but you need to hold your form for that amount as well. I think if your swim is not as good for like 4K, but for only 800, it can kill you for the other 3Ks. And then you might hold on to her or to me or to another good swimmer, but then you're just blow up and all waste of energy.
Yeah, I mean, doing a max effort for the first 5 minutes of an Ironman probably is
Obviously,
the best.
everyone can do like a 50-meter effort.
Yeah.
And especially when a deep water start, it's really hard to get in that speed. So that takes a little bit more time. So maybe that's, good for maybe the less, like the slower swimmers. But it's more what's coming after that. And then holding your pace, and you can see Lucy, she loves to be in open water. She's an open water swimmer. I'm a 100, 200, 400 freestyler, always swam in the pool. So yeah, there's definitely like difference, but it's still, exciting. Yeah.
Awesome. This is a big race, and obviously with the season that you've had, it seems like it's allowed you to focus on the little things to a certain extent, right? What do you think that focus on the little things will do to help you in your performance here on Saturday, in your experience here?
I think when you focus on the little things, it's mostly you need to be patient, because little things goes really slow as well. The process is really slow. And you just have to wait and see if it pays off. If you have like a little niggle, little injury, and you can still kind of work with it, and your body is like good enough to race, and then you need to find out like, is that going to be good enough for 8 or 9 hours? I'm just thinking about what kind of little things I've been focusing on this year. Well, for me, little things is like, joining a swim squad was for me big, but it's like just a little thing. I think for me, being a swimmer for 30 years, you can still improve only a certain amount. So for me, it was more the enjoyment and just the excitement that I could get out of it. I don't really believe that particular programs would make me more faster or better. It was just to be around with the squad and just get 7Ks or 8Ks of training in just a little bit easier than you just like in your own head all the time.
New stimulus.
It's
right?
a new stimulant. So I was really happy I had that kind of still in my back pocket, kind of waiting for like, okay, if I really need this extra stimulants, then we go for it.
That's great. I love the energy that you have coming into this race, and you always have a smile on your face and are excited. How much do you love the sport?
I think it's a great sport. Like, what I love about it is that I'm coming from a swim background, so in swimming, age groupers, for example, or the general public is not so much involved in swimming. And you've been told, like when I was 20, it was like, are you still swimming? So they were like, are you still swimming? You're old. And I think in this sport with triathlon and the way how Ironman or how it's been built up is that so many people can do it. So if you want to get out there and want to get fit or you want to work on something, you can do it. It's not limited to only a handful of 60 pro women. Like this weekend, there's so many women come there with a story. Like everybody got a story and everybody got a reason why they're doing it. And I think it's great that we have something like that in the world, that it motivates people to get out of the door. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
What are you most excited for on Saturday?
Ooh, really good question. I'm excited. I think I'm excited for every discipline. Like, I'm excited to see where my swim is at. I'm excited. I have all new equipment with the bike, so I'm really excited. Like, okay, how is that gonna work out? And then on the run, I've been working on my run form, and I'm like, okay, it's so good for me to have a focus in the run, so I don't get overwhelmed of like, oh, it's 42k. So I'm excited, like, how long can I hold that form in this heat? Like, what can we do again after 2 years here in Kona? Not only me, I'm excited. Like, I think we women, we have grown pretty a lot in the last 2 years. It feels like we have like a double profile nearly. Like 2 years ago, it was like I could look at the start list and I was like, oh yeah, there are like maybe 10 potential women who can win this, and now I'm looking at it and I'm like, oh, there are maybe 20 this year. It's exciting just for all of us, I think. Yeah,
it's great. Well, I can certainly tell that you're genuinely excited about it, and I'm excited to watch you race on Saturday, and no doubt that we're not going to have to talk about your watch.
Oh, yes.
You can have your watch on.
Well, the good thing is that I changed it to a pink band, and the other one was a green band, so that's why it dropped in the grass, so I couldn't see it the grass. Yeah, I changed a little bit.
So we've got it covered.
We got it covered, yes.
Awesome. Thanks so much, and best of luck on Saturday.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Next on our podcast is Marjolaine Pierre, and pretty excited to see her in Kona racing. Are you excited to be here racing in Kona?
Yeah, super excited. It's my first time racing. I went there in 2022 to support, and to be here and race myself, it's like crazy.
Yeah, what's at this point, which role do you like better?
I don't really like to. I like to support the other, but when it's my sport, it's strange because if I support it, it's because I'm injured. So I don't really like it. I prefer to be. I think you are less stressed if you are in the race, because being a supporter is so much stress. All day long, you need to be with the tracker, and you are like, okay, he's all right, everything is fine, no puncture. So it's so stressful. So maybe race is better.
I agree. I think it's way more stressful watching and supporting a race.
Yeah.
That's funny. How long have you been out on the island?
We arrived on the 24th of September, so quite a long way before the race. I think it's so much important to be habituated with the jet lag and the long travel. The time zone is like so hard and tough to deal with when you arrive from Europe.
Is it like 12 hours?
12 hours, yeah.
The worst.
Yeah. So you want to sleep in the middle of the afternoon. It's super difficult. When you want to have a call with your family and friends, you need to really be like flex with hours. So yeah, it feels like we are on another planet for Europe.
I believe that. But growing up on Reunion Island, is it similar at all?
The same. To be honest, it's so much like the same. I think the only difference is like people here speak English, which is normal. In Reunion Island, it's like French island, but like it's so identical to here, and it's crazy to race and have all this emotion from my childhood. So it's really powerful, I'm sure, for race day.
Yeah, that's cool. Now I want to go to Reunion Island.
Yeah, you need to.
Yeah.
It's like so cool, really. It's like peaceful, you have good vibes, and you can chill with the lagoon, and you can have swim. You have maybe more road to go for a ride, so maybe you have more option to ride on. Here it's like a highway, so you have a lot of car, which is normal, but in Reunion Island you can have like more peaceful roads to run. And you have Le Grand Raid, it's a big race with a lot of trails. So yeah, it's super famous in the trail world. But the fruits, everything is the same. You have big poke bowl with tuna, and it's fantastic. Yeah.
Oh, that's great. That's great. So it sounds like it feels like a hometown race to some extent?
Yeah, I think the hometown race suits me quite well, like last year in Nice.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say yes. It's going to be like my Reunion Island race, and it's going to help me on race day.
Yeah. Your race last year in Nice was definitely one of the breakout performances, right? I'm sure you knew you were capable of that, but maybe it surprised some of us. How did it surprise you at all, that result? And how much are you looking forward to maybe trying to back that up this weekend?
Yeah, for sure. When I spoke to you last year, I didn't really expect that. I knew I know how to be strong under pressure. I like the pressure, and race in your hometown is really tough because all your family, friends are here and they want you to perform. But you always want to perform, but you have so many other ingredients like who needs to be perfect, so it's really difficult. I love to climb. I was sure it's gonna be a good day. You need to have some luck to have the perfect world championship. I had some luck, to be honest, with Annie Hall, who get a puncture, and Lucy Charles, who DNS for an injury, so I knew the dynamics were not the same as Saturday. To be in the front, I experienced that on some races. It gives you wings, to be honest. I love to be in the front. I'm not from a swim background, so I'm not always in the front, but in Nice, to be in the front like this was really amazing, yeah. So, yes, a big memory, and for sure is gonna drive me through my career.
Yeah, and give you confidence coming into the race here on Saturday?
Not really, because it's like another world champ. I feel like it's a new one, like the first one here. Nice was special. It was just one time in history, so it was great to be part of it. I was so much afraid with the downhill, so I'm glad that we don't go back again because I really didn't want it to practice a downhill. I'm so afraid. So I'm super happy to start here, to be. It's my first one, and when you get older and older, you have not much more first one. So I'm super happy to be able to say it's going to be my first world champ in Kona.
Yeah, that's great. And you should have some confidence, obviously, with that race last year, but this year you had two big wins. That's got to make you feel like you belong at the front of a world championship.
Yeah, I think I didn't really expect there's win this year, so it was fantastic. I won in Aix-en-Provence where I studied, so again, it's like there is an history in Aix-en-Provence, so I always need to have something more than just the race. I need to really feel the race, to really be straight with the race and like feel the emotion and feel something different than a location I don't really know. So I really need to have this emotion when I race to really put a huge performance. You need to be fit and you need to be much more stronger in your head, and be in a city where I know and I have memories help me so much to be stronger in my head. So I think, yeah, their win were really mentally too.
That's awesome. Yeah, very impressive. And obviously, you know, you had that good result last year. Obviously, those results this year, and you know, you had a coaching change over the last year of the Reese Barclay.
Yeah.
Has that helped you? You know, training with Lucy a little bit in training camp, and obviously being coached by Reese, has that helped your career a bit?
Yeah, Reese started to coach me last year in April, May. So in Nice, he was already there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it's a huge confidence to be able to train with a world champ. Lucy is like a class athlete in every point, as a person, as an athlete too. I think this gives me a lot of confidence because I can see how you can go through a career and how high and low can help you to grow. I think this with Lucy. Reese is really an amazing coach. He helped me a lot to. I think he took me, and he don't want to be like Lucy. He really take me as Marjolaine, and that's what I like because I'm not like Lucy. I'm a really fan of Lucy, and I think I started triathlon because of her. So that's really special to be able to train with your like role model and be like, okay, we're gonna go on the same everything with her. So it was truly special. But what I love the most is that Reese take me as Marjolaine, and he don't want to create a mini Lucy. So it's really nice to be able to have a coach who helps you to elevate your performances with your strengths and weakness.
Yeah, that's I didn't know that. That's amazing that Lucy was part of the reason you started.
Yeah, I think she really helps sports in social media, on YouTube and all these platforms. She really puts picture also, not just performance. She was like a super amazing athlete, but she also worked a lot on the other part of what you need as an athlete. It's like a crew with media and what IRONMAN made for the race. You need to have these two to feel like there is a community around you, and she was really the first who made this. And I really see with her, like, you can be a woman and perform in the sport. It's not like, for me, triathlon was like for men, to be honest. It was like, you need to have power, you need to go hard, you need to push yourself, but in a man way.
Yeah.
So to have Lucy as a role model who were always like classy and elegant, it was like, for me, maybe I can go in this sport and push myself super hard, but still be me, and it's a woman at first.
Oh, that's so great. Obviously, training with Lucy is one thing, and having that experience to be training with a role model, but her mental game and Reese's mental game is so strong. That has to be a huge help.
Yeah. For sure, I don't have the level of Lucy. Like, if you go for a swim with Lucy, like, even Clément struggles sometimes, so it's super tough to train always with her. We have different schedule during the year, so I think we are both with Reese too smart to don't do the same every day and be like glued together. We know we need to push ourselves together, or it's helpful sometimes to go in the water when you're a little bit tired and have someone to help you to like wake up quicker. But yeah, for sure, what impressed me the most is how Reese and Lucy can go through the low they had during the career of Lucy. Made 4 times second place. It's like huge result, but you don't have that win who really changed something. So train like her every year to try to improve. It's like so amazing because she really pushed herself a lot, and I think mentally it's helped me a lot to love more suffering. I love much more now to suffer, because I know when you pass that suffering, you know, you are on the flow, and it's where magic happens. And I really want to be in that flow. Sometimes when you're in that flow, you're in your bubble and your own space, and you just push yourself so well. And I just want to have this. I think it's the most powerful, and I just like this flow when you're suffering, but in a good way.
That's amazing. I've never heard it put that way. I'm going to write that down. That was perfect.
Yeah, I like to write down what I experience on races when it's a good result or a bad one. I know I need this. I need to suffer. It's like on the start on the swim, like you suffer for like 400-500 meters, and after you are in the flow and you're like, oh, that's smooth. I'm on the feet, and it's like amazing. And I really feel it, especially on the run. When you start after the bike, you're like, where is my legs? It's like a big chamallow, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna handle it. And finally you push through, and with other people, with good music, you go in your headspace and you are in the flow, and it's where magic happens, really.
That's amazing. You seem to be in the flow last year in Nice. Obviously with that climb on the bike, you got in the groove pretty early, and pretty aggressive early. Do you expect to be aggressive on this bike course, or is this that's a no?
I was exactly in the flow. Like, I know even if it's a long day on Ironman, you need to start. Like, it's like everything. You need to make the first step, and you need to go and to put on the machine. So I knew I need to start, and I watching anything. So Clément told me you need to stay at this power and try to be smooth with the power. And I was like, I don't care really much. I just want to go and start the race and enjoy it. So I went like maybe too much fast on the first climb, and after I settled in a pace. But I'm sure it's helped me to be like I were in Nice, because I really be able to push on, and after I were on flow, like I was just flying, and I was not amazing when I jumped on my bike, but I pushed through the pain, and after, when you get that flow, it's just like you fly.
Awesome. So we'll be watching for some flow maybe later on the bike ride.
Yeah. I know you need to start here, like in town. You need to really like push to be able to settle in after. And after, when you find that flow, you need to wait. And I know you need to wait after like 120k because you can have a headwind when you go back here, and it's where you can make huge gap, and you have a marathon. So when I came here, I just saw Energy Lab, and I didn't really thinking it was like went back, go down, go up. For me, it was just like you turn left directly, you go down and you go up, and it's finished. So maybe I need to have a look there to be ready.
It's a little longer than that.
Yeah.
It's a little longer than that. That's okay though. You'll figure it out on Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah. The run is often where first timers struggle, and it's maybe because the run course is hard, but it's because of all the other things that we talked about that happened before that. It seems like you being so used to the environment, feeling like it's where you grew up. Do you feel like this gives you an advantage where you're feeling pretty good in the heat, and it's, obviously you have to be cautious still on the run, but feel comfortable here?
I grew up with the heat. Like I started to run in Rayon Island with the cross-country stuff, with athletics, track and field. And when you have your final at 3 p.m. in the afternoon, it's like boiling, and you need to be ready for it, and you don't really feel it because you sleep, you eat, you do everything. And I remember in my school there is like no fun, anything, and you need to be like ready to catch the lesson that the teacher gives you, and you are like just boiling on your chair. So I know how to deal with that. I like the heat. To be honest, if it was a world championship like in Norway in the cold water, and with like in St. George one year it was like so freezing, and this race I don't really like them. Like it's not possible for me. But the heat, I prefer it like 100%, and I think you need to work for it. So I made a lot of heat session, but it's something I'm not afraid of, and I prefer it than the cold. So
noted. No cold races. For
no. I can't. St. George, like it was so terrible.
Yeah, I remember seeing you on the moto, and you looked very cold.
Yeah, I think I find back my foot during the run after 10K, and you run on your tibia, and you're like, where is my hand? Where is my foot? Like, I don't really like these races. I just can't. I hope Marbella are gonna be not too cold this
year. A little warmer than St. George. Yeah. That's great. Well, you're not going to have any trouble being cold on Saturday.
No.
How excited are you for your first Kona?
It's an Ironman. It's just my fourth one. So I don't really made a lot of Ironman. I'm afraid with the distance for sure. Here it's much more difficult because everything looks super tough. The stack field is like super deep. The result I made last year is difficult too, because you always want to be better, but the fourth place I made, I think I need to erase this place of my head, because it's a new race, new environment, new people, new athletes, and everything is possible with all this. So maybe I just want to be at my best, to be honest. I need to really erase the race in Nice, because it's put maybe too much expectation on a race which is different. So I can't really compare the race in Nice. I really want to perform at my best. I put a lot of work with Lucy and Reese. So it's difficult when it's not really paid off, because I work really a lot. I need to recover too, because it were a lot. So yeah, I want to really perform at my best. I say to Clément, if I underperform, it's going to be really tough to don't cry for a long time. So I hope to don't cry after Saturday. Cry with like good emotion, but not bad emotions.
Yeah, I think that's great. I think that's a good approach. But I will say you surprised yourself and me last year, and I don't expect anything else on Saturday. So that's awesome. Thanks so much for sitting down and chatting with us, and best of luck.
Thank you very much.
Great stuff from those three women. Definitely different approaches. You got Lucy Charles-Barclay. She's going for the win, no doubt. Marjolaine says she's here, to have the best experience that she can, but I think she might surprise herself. And Lotte Wilms coming through some trials and tribulations of the year. Definitely gonna do her best to have a solid result, and I think she might surprise us as well. Be sure to keep an eye on this space. More podcasts coming to you from Kailua Kona this week at the Ironman World Championships and the Ironman Insider podcast presented by Morton. Again, I'm your host, Matt Lieto. Thanks so much for listening.